Observe two students at the starting line. On the left, we have the rule follower, internalizing every rubric, delivering a flawless 99% on every exam. On the right, we have the student who struggles to keep pace, their work defined by red ink and crossed-out attempts. Fast forward 20 years, and we often see a strange deviation in their paths. That top-tier student is frequently found plateauing in a middle management role, while the student who barely passed is now managing a portfolio of assets and operating with total schedule freedom. This gap exists because of a specific equation drilled into us since kindergarten, that academic perfection is the sole guarantor of a safe and prosperous adult life. If that equation were actually balanced, the academic genius wouldn't be financially redlining today. This discrepancy points to the existence of a hidden, unmeasured variable in the way wealth is actually generated. To find that variable, we have to look at the architecture of the classroom. A school functions as a closed system, where boundaries are fixed and every problem has one correct answer. Within this box, deviating from the path results in a lower grade, which the system treats as a failure of character rather than a data point. Academic success effectively measures a student's capacity for compliance. This training leaves top students psychologically unequipped for any environment where the rules are unwritten or constantly shifting. When you leave the classroom, you enter an open system. It is a chaotic, expanding web of shifting targets. Here, mistakes are a mechanical necessity. Every failure spawns the data required to find the next successful pathway. The marketplace operates on a different currency than the classroom. It only values raw experience. We have to define experience precisely. It is the total volume of data acquired by surviving your own failures. Attempting to avoid mistakes in the real world is a strategic error. It guarantees economic stagnation. Eventually, the system breaks. A business plan shatters, a medical diagnosis arrives, or a bank account hits zero. These are the moments where the weight of the real world becomes crushing. These breaking points leave a permanent mark. They are visceral, emotional, and completely unpredictable. This moment of crisis serves as the ultimate filter for success. The final outcome depends on which voice you follow in the valley of that crisis, the voice of worry or the voice of wisdom. When the straight-A student faces their first major real-world collapse, they often retreat. Terrified of a bad grade in life, they seek the safety of the known and look for someone to blame. This is the emergence of a fixed mindset. Because they were always praised for being smart, they interpret this failure as permanent proof that they are no longer capable. The average student reacts differently. They are already accustomed to stumbling and adjusting. When their business or bank account breaks, they look at the pieces and begin searching for a way to adapt. A history of classroom struggle actually functioned as a rigorous training program for this exact moment. It built the resilience necessary to navigate a landscape where perfection is impossible. The free market is indifferent to degrees or memorized facts. It doesn't care who had the highest GPA in 2010. Wealth is generated through a different metric, the capacity to solve massive, chaotic problems for other people. As the complexity of the problem increases, the potential reward follows an exponential curve. Solving these problems requires testing solutions that will fail repeatedly. The path to the solution is jagged and full of setbacks that would stop a compliance-focused mind. Since solving massive problems requires enduring constant failure, wealth belongs to those who can withstand being broken without quitting. The ultimate variable for long-term success is staying power. This power doesn't require a diploma or outside capital. It is the simple, internal decision to refuse to surrender, regardless of the adversity or the opposition. The act of crawling out of a wretched, broken place forces you to evolve. You become a faster, smarter, and more resilient version of yourself simply by continuing to fight. No temporary circumstance or broken account defines a life. Victory is achieved by those who remain standing. Victory belongs to the unbroken.